Hi. Hi. Welcome to our electromagnetic theory course. In today's class, we will discuss about one of the important parameter in electromagnetic field theory. That parameter is nothing but electric flux density. So, name itself, here you have electric flux. What is meant by electric flux? Electric flux is nothing but what? Electric flux is nothing but electric field lines of force. Electric field lines of force means basically this electric flux or electric field lines emanates from positive charge and terminates at a negative charge. Let us consider positive charge, that is Q positive like this. Here let us say it is Q positive and another one is Q negative. Okay, in this case field lines are traveling from positive charge to negative charge like this. So that means electric flux emanates at positive charge and terminates at negative charge, starts at positive charge and terminates at a negative charge. Okay, or else this field line is traveling like this, that means from positive to negative, or else like this. Okay, or else like this, or else like this. Okay, or else it may travel like this. Okay, so means what? That is, it is positive charge Q positive and this one is Q negative. We know that we have two types of electric charges, one is positive charge and another one is negative charge. Okay, basically electric field lines or else electric flux lines traveling from positive to negative charge. Okay, so but here we have what? Electric flux density, that is represented by D. Electric flux density means what? Flux per unit surface area. Flux density means flux per unit surface area. Okay, so let us consider an area S1 like this. Let us consider an area S1 like this, and here an area of S2 like this, S2 like this, and another area S3 like this. Okay, now flux lines crossing this surface area S3 is basically electric flux is represented by psi. Electric flux is represented by psi. Okay, it is pronounced as psi. Okay, so for surface area S, the flux crossing, let us assume flux crossing this surface area is psi. Okay, for S1 we can take psi 1. For S1 we can take psi 1. For S3 we can take similarly psi 3. For S2 we can take this as what? That is psi 2. It is for S1 psi 1, for S3 psi 3, for S2 psi 2. Okay, like S for S psi. Okay, this is the flux, that is psi 2 is the flux crossing this surface area S2. So if I want to measure the flux density for this surface area S2, in that case I have flux density is defined as what? In this case I am okay, flux density is represented by D. For this case, for S2, flux density is denoted as D2, that is nothing but what? Psi 2 by S2, psi 2 by S2. Okay, similarly if you go for this one, in this case for S3 we have flux density, flux per unit surface area, this S3 is nothing but D3. The D3 is defined as what? That is psi 3 by S3. So this much of flux is crossing this surface area S3, that is flux per unit surface area is nothing but the flux density. Similarly for this surface area, the flux crossing this S1 is nothing but psi 1, then flux density for this one is nothing but what? D1 is equal to what? Psi 1 by S1. Okay, if you see this S1, S2, S3, for S1 we have psi 1, for S2 we have psi 2, for S3 we have psi 3. That means what? If this area changes, flux changes. If this area changes, flux changes. That's why we can define from this D2 equal to psi 2 by S2, D3 equal to psi 3 by S3, and here in this case we have what? D1 is equal to psi 1 by S1. Means what? If this area changes, this flux changes. That's why we can define this D like this, that is flux per unit surface area, flux per unit surface area, flux per unit surface area, that is, it is nothing but what, D is equal to psi by S. Okay, if this area changes, this flux changes, that means the change in the area leads to the flux crossing that surface area. So that's why we can write this D as what, D psi by ds. That means what, change in the area leads to what, change in the flux crossing that surface area. So that's why we can write D is equal to D psi by ds. D equal to what, D psi by ds. Okay, from this we can write, I am writing here, okay, or else what I told here, we have what, D equal to what, D psi by ds. Change in the this surface area leads to what, change in the flux, like for S1 psi 1, for S2 psi 2, for S3 we have what, psi 3. So that's why D equal to what, D psi by ds. Now we can write the expression for this flux, differential flux, in terms of D and ds, that can be written as what, D psi is equal to what, D into ds. Of course it is a scalar quantity. Why it is scalar quantity? The source for this flux is nothing but what, charge. This flux is emanating from positive charge due to what, this charge only, and terminates at what, negative charge. Okay, so from this we can write D psi equal to what, D into ds. But we know that this differential surface area is a vector quantity. Of course this is also a vector quantity, flux per unit surface area, this is also a vector quantity. We know that a scalar quantity can be written as what, dot product of two vectors, that is D psi is equal to D bar dot ds bar. Then if I apply integration on both sides, for this equation only, this integration and this differentiation cancelled out, we can write now, apply integration on both sides, integration and this differentiation cancelled out, we will get psi equal to what, integral D dot ds. That means what, if I integrate this D over this surface, then I will get the flux crossing that surface area, flux crossing this surface area S. Okay, so that is psi equal to integral dot D dot ds. So electric flux density is defined as what, flux per unit surface area, flux per unit surface area. Okay, please remember this expression, that is psi equal to what, integral D dot ds. This can be helpful to derive the Maxwell's equation. Psi equal to what, integral D dot ds. I am writing that expression here itself, that is psi equal to what, integral D dot ds. Okay, surface integral of the flux density gives what, flux. Surface integral of charge density gives what, that surface charge. Okay, so that is psi equal to integral D dot ds. Okay, another definition for this flux density in terms of electric field intensity is given by, we can define this electric flux density, it is a vector quantity. It can be defined in terms of what, electric field intensity like this, that is, first I will write expression for this D in terms of E, then I will give definition for that one, that is D equal to what, D can be written as epsilon into E. Of course we know that epsilon is nothing but what, permittivity of the medium. Epsilon times of electric field intensity is equivalent to what, electric flux density, that is D is equal to what, epsilon into E. And previously we defined this D as what, that is flux per unit surface area, that is D psi by ds. Of course from this only we can write that psi is equal to what, integral D dot ds. Okay, so it is one of the definition, that is flux per unit surface area, and it is another definition or alternative definition, it is what, electric flux density is equal to what, epsilon times of the electric field intensity. Of course it relates what, D and E. This equation relates electric flux density and electric field intensity. We know that from Coulomb's law we defined, that is E equal to what, F by Q, E equal to F by Q, and finally we got this one. Of course we have to write like this, that is force per unit test charge, E equal to F by Q. Finally we got E as what, Q by 4 pi epsilon R square. Now substitute this E, it is a vector quantity in this expression. Let us take this expression as equation 1. substitute this E in this equation, we will get what? That is d bar equal to what? Epsilon into E. E is nothing but what? From Coulomb's law we have, that is q by 4 pi epsilon r square into AR. Of course, it is a vector quantity. It is the direction of E is along R. Okay, unit vector AR. So here E gets cancelled out. Then D can be written as what? D equal to q by 4 pi r square into AR. Okay, from this equation and this equation we can say that D is along E direction. E is along a unit vector AR. The direction of E is like this. Okay, this AR indicates the unit vector. Okay, E is along unit vector AR, and whereas D is also along E. That means what? Both are in the same direction. D and E are both are in the same direction, but we can observe one difference. What is that difference? Here we have epsilon. Here we have epsilon, means E depends upon the permittivity of the medium, whereas D doesn't depend upon the this epsilon. Means what? D is independent of the permittivity of the medium. Okay, E depends upon the type of the medium, whereas D is independent of the type of the medium. Clear? So this is about the definition of D and D in terms of this flux and in terms of E. Flux per unit surface area is nothing but electric flux density, or else D can be defined as electric flux density is also defined as what? Epsilon times of electric field intensity is nothing but what? That electric flux density. The another name for electric flux density is also called as, this D is also called as a displacement vector. Displacement vector. D is also called as what? Displacement vector. Okay. Now we will derive Maxwell's equation by using this equation, that is psi equal to integral d dot ds, and another expression, we have another expression that is nothing but what? Volume charge. In terms of the volume charge density is nothing but what? That is q equal to integral rho v dv. Please remember these two expressions. Already we discussed this volume charge density, and of course we derived this psi with the help of the definition of electric flux density. The definition is nothing but what? Electric flux per unit surface area. Now we will derive one of the important Maxwell's equation. Of course, that is the Maxwell's first equation by using Gauss law. By using Gauss law. What is Gauss law? What is Gauss law? Gauss law states that total electric flux, I am writing here, total electric flux, E flux means electric flux, through a closed surface, total electric flux through a closed surface, is equal to charge enclosed by the that volume. Charge enclosed by that volume. Charge enclosed by that volume. Please refer Stokes theorem and divergence theorem concept. In that concepts, I told that closed surface defines what? Volume, and closed line defines what? Open surface. Here closed surface defines what? Volume. Okay. In divergence theorem, we can convert closed surface integral into volume integral. Here it says that what? Gauss law indirectly relates what? That closed surface and volume. Okay. Now total flux through a closed surface means, that is psi t is equal to what? Charge enclosed by that volume. Charge enclosed by that volume. Psi t equal to what? Q enclosed. Mathematically we can write Gauss law like this. By using this Gauss law, we can derive one of the Maxwell's equation. That Maxwell's equation can be derived like this, that is, we know the relation, that is psi equal to what? Write flux in terms of the flux density, charge in terms of the charge density. Please write flux in terms of the flux density and charge in terms of the charge density. Remember one thing, it is a flux through a closed surface, flux through a closed surface. Now write down this flux in terms of the flux density. We have that expression, that is psi equal to what, integral d dot ds. But it is what, electric flux through a closed surface, means here I need to apply what, closed surface integral is equal to what, charge enclosed by that volume, means what, volume charge. Write down this charge in terms of the charge density, flux in terms of the flux density, that is electric flux density, charge in terms of the charge density, that is what, integral rho v dv. Of course, this Gauss's law relates what, this source and this is the source, that is charge is the source, and effect is nothing but what, this is electric flux. Electric flux is nothing but what, effect, and this is nothing but what, source or cause for that flux, source or cause. Means Gauss law relates what, it relates relationship between that source and effect. Effect is nothing but electric flux, and source is nothing but what, charge, or cause is nothing but charge. Okay, this is result or effect. Okay, now this is about the relation. Charge represented in terms of the charge density, and flux represented in terms of the flux density. Now let us apply what, apply divergence theorem to LHS. Apply divergence theorem to LHS of above equation, If you apply divergence theorem to LHS of this equation, what is divergence theorem? Divergence theorem is used to convert this closed surface integral into volume integral. That means this surface integral becomes volume integral. Please listen carefully. Divergence theorem is used to convert closed surface integral into volume integral, and this vector becomes divergence of that vector. That's why it is divergence theorem. Divergence theorem is used to convert closed surface integral into volume integral like this, and this vector becomes divergence of that vector. That is divergence of vector d, del dot d bar dv is equal to what, integral rho v dv. Why we apply divergence theorem? To relate this volume integral to that closed surface integral. Okay, on left hand side we have volume integral, on right hand side also volume integral. Integrals are equal, therefore integrands should be equal. What are the integrands? That is nothing but del dot d on left hand side, on right hand side we have what, rho v. Del dot d is equal to rho v. This is the Maxwell's equation. Let us say Maxwell's first equation, because we derived this equation. It is one of the Maxwell's equation. Of course, we derived this as the first equation, so that's why Maxwell's first equation in differential form. Maxwell's first equation in differential form. Or else point form. This is also called as what, Maxwell's first equation in point form, differential form or point form. In integral form, this is integral form. Let us say it is equation A. Equation A is the Maxwell's first equation in integral form. This equation B is the Maxwell's equation in differential form or point form. Okay. In today's class, what we have discussed? First we discussed electric flux density. In the name, electric flux means what? Electric flux is nothing but the electric field lines. What is the source for the electric field? It is nothing but the charge. We have two types of charges. First one is we have two types of electric charges. First one is positive charge and another one is negative charge. This electric field or electric flux emanates from positive charge and terminates at a negative charge. Starts at positive charge and terminates at a negative charge. Okay. Flux crossing the surface area is nothing but what? Flux density. Flux per unit surface area. Okay. Let us say for S1, the flux crossing that surface area S1 is nothing but psi 1. Okay. For S2, psi 2. That means what? If that area changes, flux changes. So that's why flux density is defined like this. That is psi by S. If this area changes, that leads to change in the flux. So that's why d equal to what? D psi by ds. From this we can write psi equal to what? Integral d dot ds. Of course, here we can write d psi as what? D psi equal to integral d dot ds. Apply integration on both sides. D psi equal to what? D psi. Send this term to this side, d dot ds. It is a scalar quantity, but these are vectors. So that's why dot product of two vectors gives the scalar. Okay. Apply integration on both sides. We will get this equation, that is psi equal to integral d dot ds. Okay. This equation. Flux is represented in terms of the flux density, but this flux is due to what charge? Now represent that charge in terms of the charge density. Let us consider volume charge. So then charge, this volume charge in terms of the volume charge density is nothing but what? Q equal to integral rho v dv. Please refer the concept, that is line charge, surface charge, volume charge, or else electric field intensity due to line charge, surface charge, volume charge. Already we discussed this one. Okay. Already we discussed this one, that is Q equal to integral rho v dv in the concept of electric field intensity due to line, surface and volume charges. Okay. By using Gauss law we can derive the Maxwell's first equation. So that is Gauss law is what? Total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to what? Charge enclosed by that volume. That is, it relates closed surface and volume. Of course, we discussed closed surface defines the open volume and closed line defines the open surface, that is Stokes theorem and divergence theorem. Please refer the topics also. Okay. And this is mathematically it can be written as what? That is total flux through a closed surface. Total electric flux is represented by psi. Total, that means psi t, is equal to what? Charge enclosed by the volume. Now write this psi in terms of the that flux density and charge in terms of the charge density. Okay. Here it is closed surface, it is volume. So apply divergence theorem to this LHS, then we will get the relationship between this d and rho v, that is del dot d equal to rho v. And what about the unit of this d? D is nothing but what? Flux per unit surface area. Flux by area means the flux is measured in terms of the coulombs. Flux is measured in terms of the coulombs, and area is nothing but what? Coulombs per meter square. The unit of flux density is nothing but what? Coulombs per meter square. The units of flux is coulombs only. Okay. Of course, this Gauss law relates what? This flux is nothing but what? That is effect, and source is nothing but what? Charge. It relates source and effect. Okay. By using that we will get the del dot d equal to rho v. Rho v is what? Volume charge density. Volume charge density means what? Charge per unit volume. The unit of this one is what? Coulombs per meter cube, and the unit of del is what? Per meter, and the unit of d is what? That is already we discussed, that is this is coulombs per meter square, that is equivalent to what? This coulombs per meter cube. Okay. This is all about today's class. We will meet in next class. Thank you.